Hey guys, Nishquik here, and we did it. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm still kind of processing it, but thank you guys so much for all the support, all the likes, comments, views, everything. Thank you so much for everything. And in this video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a history of how things got started, where things are going from now on, and just kind of talk to you guys about what I want this channel to become. And if you guys stick around till the end, I have something special I want to talk about, and it's not really about me. So that's a little hint about that. But anyways, thank you guys for everything. I have achieved something that I really wanted to with this channel, and that is to build sort of a community of people who are passionate about the things that I am passionate about. And that sounds very cheesy, like that's what a lot of people want to do, but for me, like, let me tell you guys how this started off. So way back when I was a kid, I would always watch YouTube. I was always like, hey, this would be cool to do one day, just like get on camera and talk about things. And I got to do that in college because I was in student media, and I actually produced a movie review show where I got to see movies early in advance and I got to review them. If you guys look online somewhere very hard, very carefully, you might find traces of that show. You guys can look for that. So I got a taste of what like content creation in YouTube was like back then. And I was like, hey, this is fun. And then I graduated, and then that was done. And I was like, hey, I want to continue doing this. But during the pandemic was when I started playing games more. I started to get into games like Persona, Xenoblade, the Souls games, and I was like, hey, I like talking about these games with my friends. And I've always loved video games. I've always loved Nintendo ever since I was a kid, so like, why not just do it? Why not just get started? So if you look at the very early videos, my first ever video was a Zoom call I had with my friend. Me and my friend, we just got on a Zoom call and we talked about Persona 5. Why we like it, why we loved it, what we want to see from Persona 6 and all that, like how it compares to other video games we played. We just rambled about Persona 5. I don't even have gameplay footage in the video, it's just still images on top. It was where I started off because I just felt like, hey, I want to talk about this stuff that's on my mind. And from there, it was more of like an analytical approach I went with videos. But then I realized a lot of analysis videos take so long to make and so long to develop. So then I was like, how about I just talk about the things that I talk about with my friends, things that are on my mind, things that are like relevant in like video game like discussion when it comes to the games that I am talking about. I've hopped around with different styles of videos, different kinds of franchises, different discussion styles and everything. I've dabbled around a lot, that's what I'm trying to get at. And the thing is, I haven't really this might sound weird to say, but I haven't really found my niche yet. And that is very weird to say because like the whole thing about YouTube is like find your niche, get into that niche, and just kind of like talk about that and then some other stuff on the side. For me, what I've been doing right now is I've just been saying, hey, this topic sounds interesting, let me talk about this. Or this game is something that I really loved or I really like, let me talk about this. Or this game I'm playing right now is really fun, let's talk about this. And that made me realize what I want the future of this channel to be. And it is a very kind of difficult, kind of very broad kind of approach I'm going with this, but hear me out and I want your guys' opinion on this. And like how I phrase this might sound very simple, but I'm going to put my own kind of Nishquik spin on this. So basically, I had like this podcast I was doing and I didn't do it for a while because I just didn't really know which direction I wanted to go with it. I just bring friends along or other content creators and we just talk about games, right? And then it like had no name and I was like, hey, what do I give, like what name do I give this podcast? And I kept thinking of things. I was like, what games do I play? I play Nintendo games, I play RPGs, I play JRPGs. What do we talk about on like the podcast. We talk about like what games we're playing, what games we have played in our past, and then it hit me. I was like, the things I like to talk about when it comes to video games, I like to talk about what I have done, what I have played, what I have experienced. I like to talk about my video game experiences, because to me, video games are the best media, best entertainment medium, in my opinion, because of how interactive they are, how immersive they are, how relatable these games can be when from a gameplay perspective, from a story perspective, from a musical perspective. It's got everything. So I don't see any other medium as wide and vast and expansive as video games are. So I thought to myself, I was like, hey, why not have this podcast be about video game experiences? And thus, I got the name EXP, because experience points, but also experience is, you know? I thought that was like a cool name, but a lot of my most successful videos are me just talking about my experiences with a video game from the past. Like some examples were like the future of Legend of Zelda. I talked about how I felt about the older games, why I love the older games, and why I am a little hesitant for them to move on in this open world direction. Another one is the Shulk and Rex video from Future Redeemed, because I go back to specific scenes in Xenoblade 1 and 2 and talk about how these moments made these characters the people they are in Future Redeemed. So I loved doing that. And I think the latest Skyward Sword video is kind of an indication of sort of what like big videos I want to make going forward. I really enjoyed making that video because it really showed a personal side of me, and I want to bring some of that personality into this channel as well, because as you guys know, like you guys know me as Nishquik, like I am Nishquikpops. But what is Nishquikpops? Like what is that? What does that mean? Who is that? What is that? Why is that? As Drax might say, you know? Nishquik is actually a nickname that I got back in high school. I still remember the person who gave me that nickname. So to that person, thank you very much for giving me that nickname, because it's just stuck around. And yeah, but like why Nishquik? Well, it's the first 4 letters of my first name replaced with quick at the end. Kind of like Nishquik chocolate milk. And yeah, it's Nishant, which is my first name, if you guys didn't know. Nishant, you take out the A-N-T and you add quick in there. But what is Pops? That's what I wanted to get at more with this kind of explanation. What is Pops? Well, Pops... it's really silly. I almost, like, right when I created my YouTube channel, I almost, like, eliminated the Pops, like, the second day my channel existed, because I thought it sounded so dumb, and I still think it sounds very silly, but I'm gonna keep it for now. Pops was supposed to be pop culture, because, like, I like pop culture. I like video games. I also like other things. Like, look at this. You guys can see this. I like music, and I like movies as well. Like, this is the one thing I could find which is movie related, I guess. Yeah, I just have a very nerdy collection of a lot of things. Basically, I like pop culture. Not only video games, but like other things. But when it came time for me to like start making videos on this channel, when I wanted to do it, it was during like the pandemic era when games was a very hot subject, so I just kind of took off with games. I'm not saying I'm going to start like making album reviews of like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. No, I'm not gonna deviate entirely, or I'm not gonna talk about Star Wars or the MCU or anything like that. What I want to do is I want to bring some of that personality into these videos, whether it be in the ways you guys have seen in like the Skyward Sword video, or just me talking about things like that, but from a video game standpoint. I want to talk about video game stories more. I want to talk about video game music a lot. And this all goes back to the whole EXP thing. Like, I've experienced so much with video games. I've experienced so much. I've loved so many video game experiences, because when something big happens, when some memorable moment happens, I always think to myself, that is a quality video game experience that I'll never forget. And that is something that, those are things that I hold dear to my heart and close to me, and I love talking about that with some people, and I really appreciate a lot of what we have created here on this channel, so thank you very much. And the whole thing with like comments is I like seeing a lot of this discussion. I like seeing discussion with people who agree with me. I also like seeing discussion of people who respectfully disagree with me. I really like that. I would hate it if if I made a video on Tears of the Kingdom and everyone agrees with me and said, yes, Nishquik, I agree. Because some people don't, and some people say why they disagree. And I enjoy having those discussions. And I enjoy people who maybe dislike the content and tell me why, because it helps me get better, and it just kind of gives me a broader outlook on how people converse and talk about these things. Because a lot of things I've noticed is when games are talked about, when games are like in people's minds, sometimes things are very narrowly focused. Some people may not understand other people's opinions or other people's takes or other people's past experiences. But once a lot of that is kind of taken into account, and once the discussion is just a little better, that's when the talks are just fun. That was just a long-winded way of saying that I want to talk more about my video game experiences. Another thing is, I don't want to limit myself to certain franchises. I am a lot of people know me as the Zelda and Xenoblade guy, and I kind of like that because I love those series so much. They're my top 2 favorite franchises. But I also maybe want to talk about Persona, because Reload is coming and I haven't made many Persona videos. I want to talk about other JRPGs, because I always say, Nintendo and RPGs. Like, there are other JRPGs I've been playing recently, I want to give my 2 cents on that. And the thing is, I don't want to spread myself too thin, because I don't want to end up talking about, like, franchises that no one really here cares about. So I'm going to stick to the basics, but I'll also branch out a bit into franchises that I really enjoy and that fit the whole Nintendo and RPG mold. I was telling someone yesterday, I was trying to tell them that the games that I want to talk about are the games that someone like Player Essence talks about, but I don't want to talk about them like how Player Essence talks about them. And that's another thing, is I want to say this right now, that I don't think I'm going to talk about news much going forward, like video game news, video game headlines, breaking news, Switch Pro stuff. I might, if things get really big and really heated and really like legit and all that, but I don't really want to focus too much on those things, because I'm going to be honest, it's getting kind of boring talking about that stuff again and again and again and again and again. It's getting a little boring. So, and I don't normally make those kinds of videos, but it's just not as fun as it used to be, honestly. So, and honestly, when it comes to me sitting down and making a video like this, I would much rather talk about something that I've experienced myself and something that means a lot to me. That is a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. Now, I want to talk about something not about me. I want to give some shoutouts, and the thing is, when it comes to YouTube and all that stuff, I wouldn't have made it this far without a lot of people, of course, friends, family, like a lot of the support from a lot of those people very close to me, of course. Thank you all very much for that. But I want to shout out some of my favorite YouTube channels, and I'm not going to talk about like big channels. I'm talking about channels that are either like up and coming, or channels that are very close, if not have already hit 1,000 subscribers like me. So if you guys enjoy the content that I make, if you enjoy the videos that I make, if you enjoy the discussions that I have on the channel, I urge you to check out all these people. They're in the description below. They're really great channels, really great people who I've like had the pleasure of talking to on social media, on Discord. Sometimes I've been on their channels, sometimes they've been on my channels, and it's just been a lot of fun getting to know these like-minded people. They are very good content creators, and if you enjoy like the stuff that I do, again, check them out. First off is Yggdrasil. You guys definitely know Yggdrasil if you guys have seen episodes of the EXP podcast. I want to thank him for being always willing to just talk about anything like Nintendo, Zelda, or Xenoblade related. And we're very like-minded when it comes to those series. And he's also very into RPGs and just general gaming stuff. If you guys like video games in general, just go check him out. You guys should definitely check Yggdrasil out, and I want to thank him for being a reoccurring guest on the EXP podcast. Thank you so much, and here's to more collabs in the future. Next is Archery. So basically, I discovered Archery way earlier this year, or even last year, but Archery is the guy to go for Persona 3 Reload news. For anything Persona 3 Reload, he is your guy. He also talks about other JRPGs as well, and he's more of a PlayStation guy. So if you guys like PlayStation and RPGs and JRPGs and Persona, go check him out. One of my favorite reviews that he's done is for Tales of Arise, because I watched that and I played the game soon after, and I was like, hey, he wasn't kidding, this game is good. And he's got a very good way of reviewing and analyzing and just doing these kinds of long-form retrospectives. He's also very good at doing trailer breakdowns, so that's something I wish I had the skill of doing as well. So if you guys like Persona, PlayStation, JRPGs, Archery is your guy to go check out. Next is, this is a fun one, Jay from Cold Knights Gaming. Jay is a super wholesome, super nice, very just good, genuine guy. I found him on Twitter, and he is just a very awesome dude who, I remember I found him through his Cold Takes podcast, and that's where he used to get a lot of people on his channel and just, like, do something similar to, like, my EXP podcast, but he had his own really cool twist on it, which I loved. It was kind of like a radio show, and I think that's on hiatus for now, but the videos are still up on his channel. You guys should check it out. And he does a lot of JRPG pickup videos, and he does a lot of cool lore breakdown videos as well. If you guys like Zelda, check out his Zelda lore videos. He does some really cool stuff there, and he's just an awesome, really cool, genuine guy. So check him out. Next is Nintendo Mania. Nintendo Mania is awesome because I think he once told me this. I have to go back and ask him if this is true. I think he once told me that all the videos that he makes on the channel are done with his smartphone. And that is awesome because he makes, actually really awesome videos. Because I am not a Pikmin fan, and he is kind of getting me in the Pikmin zone, whereas I'm getting him in the Xenoblade zone. And he does a lot of Nintendo pickups, and he does a lot of cool 3DS videos. And I don't think he makes them as often now, but he had some really awesome 3DS and Wii U videos back in the day, and especially during the time of the eShop closure. If you like Nintendo, of course, check out Nintendo Mania. Miss Mandia. So, I discovered Miss Mandia from Cold Knights Gaming's show, YouTube channel, and Miss Mandia does a lot of really cool vlogs, and she has some of the best video editing I've ever seen from a smaller YouTube content creator. And she does a lot of retrospective videos on Nintendo DS games and games she's playing now. She has a lot of really awesome Nintendo Switch reviews for games coming out now, and a lot of these indie cozy games, which I don't really play, but the way that she talks about them is very awesome. So if you like Nintendo Switch, Nintendo DS, those kinds of games, and if you are down for some really awesome video editing, check out Miss Mandia's channel. Lunatunes. Lunatunes is awesome. So Lunatunes is a really awesome channel, really awesome guy. He does a lot of non-Nintendo stuff, but of course the Nintendo stuff is amazing. Really big Metroid fan, really big Zelda fan, and he's really into a lot of other stuff too. So if you like even Xbox and PlayStation games, check him out. He's a huge Souls fan, huge fan of the Dark Souls series, and He's into a lot of like big AAA games coming out now. Like he did a video on Doom, he did a video on Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, he did a video on Hogwarts Legacy, and I was fortunate enough to have been on his channel to talk about Tears of the Kingdom and have him on my channel to talk about Tears of the Kingdom as well. So thank you so much for being on those and for the collaborations, and yeah, check him out in the description below. Brotagonist. Brotagonist is cool. He's someone I met recently. He makes really awesome in-depth JRPG videos, mostly focusing on JRPGs, but he does some other stuff as well, as you can see on the channel when you go check it out. But he is really ramping me up and getting me interested in the Tales of series, because I played Arise, I talked to him about Arise, and he's got a lot of awesome videos on Braziria, Arise. He's really in on the Tales hype, and he's getting into the Trail series. I'm excited to see his videos on the Trail series. And he's also a newfound Xenoblade fan. So if you guys love Xenoblade like I do, and you guys watch my Xenoblade videos, go check him out, because he will be putting up some Xenoblade content soon. Check out Brotagonist down below. Okay, this one is a cool one. This guy actually recently hit 1K, and I haven't really collabed with him or talked with him or anything like that. But this guy is Leo Jax RPGs, and he makes very consistent and very, very good JRPG videos. And I just love hearing his takes on a lot of different games, like of course Xenoblade and Trails. I haven't gotten into the Trail series, but he's getting me excited to get into Trails. But here's the thing, I don't play much of Dragon Quest. I played like half of Dragon Quest 11. I enjoyed it, but then it left Game Pass, so I'll start over eventually. But I have never played a Dragon Quest game outside of 11. But I really love this guy's videos on Dragon Quest. I really like them. I think they're really awesome, and if you guys like Dragon Quest, if you guys like RPGs, if you guys like JRPGs, if you guys like Xenoblade, Trails, Dragon Quest, any of that, check them out. Really, really awesome content. Really cool YouTube shorts as well. One is Attack the Backlog. Really, really awesome, wholesome, funny guy. Like, you guys need to check out his streams. They are so much fun, and they're so funny. Like, he's just a really funny guy, and I've been on his podcast. It was a lot of fun. He makes really good videos like that, but he's also pretty diverse with the stuff that he plays and streams and talks about. So check him out. He's a really big fan of retro games as well, so if you love any and all that kind of stuff, check out Attack the Backlog down below. And these are just a few people that I have seen their content and I've really, really enjoyed it, and I wanted to give them a shout out because either their content is similar to mine, their content is something that I aspire to be like, or they're just like really cool people who I've met along the way during this whole content creation journey. They have really good videos and really good content. You should give them a subscribe and watch and like their videos because they're really, really awesome people. And some of them are very, very close to 1K. Some of them are not as close to 1K, but subscribe to them and show them the support that they deserve. We are all in this together. We are all doing this together, and we are figuring it out every step of the way. To all the friends that I made along the way, thank you so, so, so much. To me, sometimes it's tough to, like, come to terms with the fact that, like, hey, I can, like, be passionate about the things I'm passionate about, and people will, like, have genuine, awesome, cool conversations with me about it. That's so cool, and I know that's a very simple thing, but it's something I really cherish. I am just the kind of person that loves to, like, talk about what I'm passionate about. I love to just kind of put that out there. If people listen, that's fine. If people don't listen, that's fine as well. But just having friends with similar interests and passions and talking about that stuff, it's good. It's awesome. So thank you. Thank you all so much. I talked about what's left or what's next in the future for the channel. And yeah, that's all that stuff's gonna happen, but just give it some time. Life is lifing and things are getting busy. So if you want to stay up to date with other stuff, I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter. I'm not calling it X, it's Twitter. And yeah, that's where I am right now. I do want to do a special 1,000 subscriber like video. I was thinking of either doing like my top 30 favorite games, my favorite video game franchises, my favorite moments, something like that. Something big which I want to share with you guys, which encapsulates the whole video game experiences theme. So stay tuned for that, and thank you all so much for all the support, the love, and just being there for the videos and being like supportive in every way, I guess. This is 1,000 subscribers, and this is only the beginning. We will see how far this goes, and yeah. Thank you all so much, and here's to more achievements and more milestones in the future. This is Nishquik signing off for now, and I will see you in the later videos. I'll see you guys in the next one later. Hey guys, this is Nishquik. Thank you so much for watching that video, and if you enjoyed it, check out these two videos on the left, and if you aren't subscribed, why not hit that subscribe button on the way out? I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and see you later.